Welcome back to the Blossoming Classroom. I hope you've had time to watch some of the videos before this one, because this one's going to be about redirection. And we're going to build off some of the other videos that we've watched. You're in your classroom, things are going pretty well, and you see a child who's having a big behavior. I want you to just stop for a moment and call for a brain break. And the one that I recommend at this point is waterfall. Hopefully one of two things are going to happen. You're going to call for waterfall. All your kiddos in the classroom are going to stop, do their waterfall, which at this point is going to break the cycle of energy that ping-pongs misbehavior. I'm sure as a teacher or even as a parent of multiple children, when you go to talk to a child who is having a challenging behavior, all of a sudden children all over the room are having challenging behaviors. And so when we just kind of pause the classroom and call for a brain break, all the children then reconnect the right and left side of their brains. They calm down, they can go back to playing, and they're not going to feed off that energy that they're feeling from the challenging behavior that's happening. Our other goal is that the child who is having this challenging behavior is going to stop what they are doing and participate in that brain break, so that when you come over to them, they've already started reconnecting that right and left side of the brain. This may or may not happen, and that's okay. But when you get over to the child, we want to just say, I can see you're frustrated. Would you like to go toss beanbags or go shred newspaper? You always want to give them a choice. And you want to give them a choice that's a big body play, because they're having a big body challenge. We don't want to talk to them in that moment of what their behavior is. Because remember, your words feel like acid on the brain, and they're going to do one of three things. I'm sure you've heard this before: flight, fight, or freeze. The way we see these in our preschool or pre-K children is, one, they're going to fight, which means their behavior is going to escalate. They've gone from hitting their friend to either hitting you or tearing things off the walls or throwing toys. They are going to flight, which means they're going to run away from you, try to get out of the classroom, or try to hide under a table. Or they're going to freeze. They're not going to say anything to you. They're going to say, I don't know, and shut down the conversation. Or they've had this happen so many times that they're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear, just so they can get back to playing. None of these three things is conducive to your classroom, and it's not helping the child either with their behavior. So when you come over to the child, all you want to say is, I can see you're frustrated. Do you want to A or B? If the child screams no at you, you can always say, then I'm going to choose, and why don't you and I together go throw some beanbags? When you've practiced these big body activities, it's easier to redirect the child to the activity. And that's why in an earlier video I talk about how to practice big body play. It's for this moment when you're trying to redirect behavior. A lot of times we want to talk to the child in the heat of the moment, or we think after half an hour we should be able to go back and talk to the child about their behavior. For a lot of us teachers and parents, we just can't let the behavior go. We feel like it needs to be addressed. If you are this kind of teacher or you are this kind of parent, I want to encourage you to save that conversation for circle time, for puppet play, when we're not putting the child on the spot. Because again, even if you're waiting an hour or two, when you try to have that conversation, you may get that fight, flight, or freeze from the child, and it's not being productive. But when we bring it back to circle time with puppet play, or as a parent, you bring it back to puppets later. We don't mention the children by name. We use the puppets to reenact something that we've seen in the classroom. It takes all the pressure off the child. And now the child is able to process what they've done. And they're able to learn from the puppets what they could do differently. You're going to get a lot more traction this way with the children. They're going to learn from this, and you're going to see change in their behavior.